Sorry, Jesse, we're about 15 or 20 minutes after I told you your presentation would be. So just a recap for those of you that remember, this is a Skillshare presentation. It's just to get you comfortable with sharing something that the rest of the group might not already know about. And that can be a skill that you have. That can be something to do with your business. So Jesse and Tyler have volunteered graciously to kick us off. So they're just I'm gonna set a bit of a timer. They're each gonna talk for just about 5 minutes. I'll give you a chance to ask any questions, and then we're just gonna let them kind of have the floor. Does anyone have any questions about the presentations before we get started? Jesse, are you ready, or do you need some time? You're gonna set your own timer?
Yeah, just so I can keep myself in check. Yeah, I'm pretty much good.
All right, whenever you are ready, the floor is yours.
Hey everyone. So I had like I guess maybe conundrum's the word, but last night I was trying to figure out whether I wanted to do something from my IT background or something more related to my actual business. I ended up just trying to, I'm gonna teach you guys how to make hot sauce. So it's nothing too crazy. People probably think it's this big, crazy, orchestrated kind of thing, but it's really just cooking at the end of the day. When cooking, I find one of the most important steps, and this goes for pretty much everything in life, is planning. The more you plan, the less anxiety and the less stress and that kind of thing that you have. So your me's or your setup is really one of the most important things. So getting your products together, making sure everything's clean in an organized fashion. I use weights for everything. I weigh all of my stuff because cups and tablespoons and stuff like that are not as accurate as weight. So I weigh out all my spices. I batch them all together into one container. Then I weigh out all my peppers. I weigh out all my mangoes, my onions, my garlic. I put it all together in kind of the same size bowls, one after another, in order of my operations. So once you get all your me's prepped and everything's all lined up in your nice clean kitchen, next I clean and I sterilize all my bottles. So they come straight out of a box. They go right into a sink with nice hot water and soap. I give them a wash and rinse in my second sink. I rinse them in again, nice hot water. After all the soap and everything's clean, I let them drip dry, and then I put them into an oven at 200 degrees for 15 minutes. They get nice and hot, sterilizes any bacteria or anything that's on there. And while they're sterilizing, throughout this process, I'm putting step by step my prepared items into my pot. Order of operations is really important in cooking. You always want to kind of, sweat your onions first for about 5 minutes, and then you want to get your garlic in afterwards because garlic cooks a little bit faster than onions. After that, I continue adding the rest of my items: peppers, mangoes, salsa, stir it all together, spices, and then I kind of bring it to a boil for about 15 minutes. Once it's been boiling, I blend it. So I do kind of like a two-part process, and maybe the alchemy is why my stuff tastes the way it does. I'm not sure, but I'll bring it to a boil for about 15 minutes in kind of like a raw chopped form. Then I blend it and I put it back into the pot and I boil it for another 20 minutes. Boiling it and cook when you're bottling things, whether it be pickles or sauce or salsa or whatever you want, I always want to bring it to a rolling boil just to make sure that any live bacteria in there isn't going to ferment once I bottle it. Because I have had, 40 bottles ferment on me and basically the bottles explode, and it's really bad for business when that happens. So learn from that mistake. But yeah, so after I bring it to my second boil, 20 minutes or so, my bottles are in my oven, sanitizing. I boil all the lids, boiling it again just to disinfect, sanitize, that kind of thing. And then once my sauce is done boiling, my lids are at a boil, my bottles are ready, it all kind of culminates into bringing a bottle out of the sterilized area, filling it with sauce and capping it in a quick fashion, because all of these things need to come together: hot bottle, hot sauce, hot sauce, and then capping it. This is kind of my form of pasteurization to ensure that the bottles are shelf stable. And then once all those three things come together, I separate them all, let them cool down as quick as possible, because you don't want them too hot for too long. It just is another way to bring bacteria. So once they cool down, then I label them front and back, and I put a batch number on them and a best before date. And that's how you make hot sauce.
Thanks, Jesse.
I have a question. Do you do this all by yourself?